Hello, everybody. It's Terrence from 3.6. I'm here with
Isla.
and
And
we are going to do a ULS lesson today. We're going to do a little reading, and we are going to discuss living with others. What's it like for you living with others?
it's like having love.
Having love?
hmm
What do you mean?
Like loving others.
You what?
Loving others.
Loving others, loving other people.
Mhm.
What do you think about living with other people?
That it's not living alone, and you can play with them, and you can hang out with them.
Okay, so you always have like a friend nearby or somebody you can enjoy some time with?
Yep.
Nice. I like that. For me, it's cleaning up after these two. A lot of work. But I love it, right?
Right.
Right. All right. So we're going to take turns reading today. I'm going to start off a few pages, and then I'm going to give you guys the turns to an opportunity to read, okay?
Okay.
So today we're going to talk about living with others. Some people choose to move in with others. They may live with others in a home, care center, group home, or apartment. Living with others can be fun. Living with others can be hard. So, do you think living with others is fun?
Yeah.
Do you think living with others is hard? Yeah, it's a little mix of both. You got to get in the screenshot a little bit there. What about you, Isla? Do you think living with others is fun?
I think it's fun, yeah, and I think it's a little bit hard.
Okay, what's hard about it?
But maybe you could share your clothes, and it's hard for you.
Well, we're not the same size, so you can't wear my clothes, and I can't wear your clothes.
Yeah.
Your pants wouldn't even fit over my foot.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Page 2. I'm going to keep reading here for a little bit.
Okay.
Living with others. When living with others, you have to share. You must do your share of the chores, take turns watching TV or playing games, use some of the rooms, furniture, and appliances, share costs, and split bills. When living with others, you have to clean up after yourself. You must keep your clutter picked up, wash your dishes, clean up after you use the bathroom. So these things I always talk to you guys about.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why you got to keep your rooms clean, right?
Right.
But when you're done brushing your teeth, put your toothbrush back in your cup holder, right?
Yeah.
Don't throw it on the floor, right? So keep up picking up after yourself. And then up here we're talking about sharing, right? You guys do a pretty good job of sharing.
Yeah.
I think so. We also buy you enough things to where you each have one of something for the most part.
But I'm growing a lot bigger.
You what?
I'm growing a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's born first.
We have a couple TVs in the house, so you guys are able to take turns watching TVs or playing games, right?
Or we can just go to the other rooms.
Right. So here,
Watch TV.
right, and that's what we talk about with some use of rooms, furniture, and appliances. So plenty of space in here. We're not in a tight area where some people might have a little more tighter of a spot, not as many rooms or as much space to get away from each other as, right?
Right.
All right. Next page. I'm gonna read this one, and then it's off to you guys. When living with others, you have to respect them and their things. You must ask before you take or use anything, keep the volume on the TV and music down, make a plan before inviting people over, be quiet when they are resting. So a lot of things here we talk about as well at home, right? So before you use or take anything, we always tell you to ask us, right?
Right.
Right. Keep the volume on the TV and music down. So yeah, we do a pretty good job of that. And there's times where if maybe mom is in a Zoom meeting for work, or I'm in a Zoom meeting or doing something, we have to ask you guys to turn your stuff down a little bit or put your headphones on, right?
Right.
Make a plan before inviting people over. So we're pretty good about, well, it's a weird time now because we're not supposed to have people over.
Yeah.
So, but we've always been pretty good about having people over. You guys ask. And then be quiet when they are resting. That's huge for us, right?
Yeah.
Right? I always say, don't wake us up in the morning when you guys get up at like 5 in the morning. And
I'm at 5.
oh, there's some days you've been up at 5, buddy.
4? That's not that.
You woke up at 1 o'clock the other night, grabbed the iPad.
I woke up in the middle of the night.
Right. All right. So the question is, will you be a good roommate? Do you-
I think I will.
Do you think you'd make a good roommate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you make a good roommate, Isla?
Because I have to listen to all the stuff.
All the what?
All the stuff. Like ask before you take or use anything.
Oh, all the rules that we're
Yeah.
talking about here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're a pretty good roommate. What about you, Emmett? Do you make a good roommate?
Yeah.
Why do you make a good roommate?
Being kind.
Being kind. You are pretty kind. I like that. And that is very important because if you don't get along with your roommate, it can not be so fun. All right.
They can
Let's
move out.
They could move out, but sometimes people can. It's hard to move out of places. Sometimes you sign lease contracts, and you might have to pay the rent for the rest of the year if you leave early, or at least pay a fee, and that can be expensive. And if you don't have that kind of money, it's not always an option. All right, I'm going to have Isla start us off. Let's read our story.
Living with others. Some people choose to live with others. Living with others can be fun. Living with others can be hard.
All right, so some people choose to live with others, right? So some people might want to live on their own. Some people might want to live with other people, maybe split some bills so it's a little cheaper, right? It can be fun, right? If you get along, it can be fun. But if you don't get along with the other person, it can be hard.
It will be fun.
All right, nice reading, Isla.
Thanks.
Emmett, your turn. Let me scroll down.
Twisting. Living with others. Do you want to live with others? You have to share.
Do you want to live with others? You have to share, right?
I
So
want to live with others.
what kind of things do you think you have to share if you're living with somebody?
Like share books, share TV, share the couch,
Okay,
share beds,
maybe.
share the outside.
Yeah. So sometimes, usually when you live with others, especially in this situation, you'll probably have your own bedroom, but you might share a kitchen. You might have to share bathrooms. You might have to share like a living room.
You may need to share like a office,
Yeah. Yeah.
basement.
Basement if you have one. Yep.
Yeah,
So
we're down to basement.
all those what they call common areas where everybody kind of hangs out or works and does other living essential things. All right, Isla, your turn.
Do you want to live with others? You have to clean up after yourself.
Do you want to live with others? You have to clean up with yourself. So let's say tomorrow you and Emmett have to move out, right? This is just an example, but we still have 11 more years with you, okay? So let's say tomorrow you have to move out. Would you want to live with somebody else, or would you want to live on your own?
I would live with somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be upset if the other person you lived with didn't clean up after themselves and left a mess all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because I don't want to clean up like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want them treating me like a maid.
Right. So how do you think I feel sometimes?
Feeling like a maid.
Feeling like a maid, right? What about you, Emmett? Say tomorrow you had to move out of the house. Would you want to live by yourself, or would you want to live with others?
Live with others.
Live with others. And would you be mad if the other person you lived with didn't clean up after themselves?
Yep.
Yeah. Why?
Because it's not nice to clean up not after yourself.
And leave that job for somebody else? Right?
Yeah.
So you see why I gotta get on you guys about cleaning up after yourself?
Yeah.
And if you put it away when you're done with it, it makes it so much easier than having one big mess. All right, whose turn?
I just went, so that'll probably be Emmett.
Nice sharing, Isla. City, your turn.
Do you want to live with others? You have to respect them and their things.
Okay, do you want to live with others? You have to respect them and their things. So what do you think that means? You have to respect them.
That means you have to be nice.
Okay, you have to be nice to them, right? What do you mean you have to respect their things?
Like, don't break it.
Okay.
Because it could cost a lot of money.
Right. So some of their stuff might be laying around. Maybe they have an iPad laying around in the living room that you'd share together. You got to respect it. If it's theirs, don't touch it. Or if you want to, maybe you have to ask them first, right? Right. Respect it. Because if you break it, a lot of money. Ooh, we've scrolled through a bunch of pages. Respect and their things. All right. Birdhouse, you're up next.
That's what he called me. Wait, will he be a good roommate?
Will you be a good roommate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys do a pretty good job being good roommates. All right.
That is, I think.
All right. Let's go see if we have some questions at the bottom.
Ooh, I love questions. So funny. With some blue.
All right. Let's go over roommate problems. Okay.
No.
So we have roommate problem, and we're going to look at a few things here. We have what will you do with the problem? What will you say? So we're going to take turns with these, okay? Let's see. It is late at night. Your roommate is watching a football game and cheering very loudly. You cannot sleep. Emmett, what would you do if your roommate was watching a football game late at night, cheering really loudly, and you can't sleep and you're trying to go to bed? What would you do?
I would go out and say, can you turn it down?
Would you yell at them?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're turning it so loud and they cannot sleep.
Okay. So you would yell loudly at them. Okay. And you would say, could you turn it down? I'm trying to sleep.
Because they couldn't hear you how loud it
Oh,
was.
that's why you're yelling? Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. Isla, if it was late at night and your roommate is watching a football game and cheering very loudly and you cannot sleep, what would you do?
I would go down there and yell like really loud and say, can you turn the volume down, please?
You know what I like about what you did there?
What?
That you said please. So you use some manners, right?
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times if you just go into like what you're talking about, just immediately going out there and yelling at them, you might have more conflict. So problems with your roommate.
What's conflict mean?
Problems. You're gonna have more problems. They're not gonna be happy with you. Wow. Oh, he's yelling at me. I'm trying to watch a football game. He's not happy, and maybe not realizing that they made the mistake of, oops, Whereas maybe if you would have went down there and said, hey, roommate, I'm really trying to sleep right now, and it's hard because you have the TV so loud. Do you think you'd mind turning it down a little bit so I don't hear it in my room, please? Right? How do you think the roommate would respond if I took that approach?
I think he would say, okay, I'll turn it down to 8.
To 8? Do you think he would be mad at me for asking that way?
No.
Probably less likely than if I was to go out there and be like, turn this down. Right?
Right.
All right. Next problem. You see your roommate using your toothbrush to brush their teeth. So let's say, Isla, you're living with one of your friends, right?
Like Grace.
Let's say you see them using your toothbrush to brush their teeth. What would you do? And what will you say?
First, I do what you say. I'll say, that's gross. Can you please use your toothbrush, please?
That's gross. Could you please use your toothbrush, please? You used please twice in that sentence. I like that. Emma, if you saw a roommate that you were living with using your toothbrush to brush their teeth, what would you do?
Please, can you use your toothbrush, please, please?
3 pleases.
Yeah.
Now you're just overcompensating, right? I like that. You guys, you nicely asked your roommate, please don't use your toothbrush. What do you think you should do with your toothbrush after that? After you saw them using that?
I would wash it.
Right. Maybe throw in the dishwasher, like pour a little rubbing alcohol or something on there.
What's alcohol?
Something to kill off all the germs. All right. Next problem. Emma, you're going to start this one. Your roommate always uses the microwave, but does not clean it after using it. It is always messy. So you guys don't really get to see our microwave because it's up above our stove. So you don't have to clean the microwave for one. You haven't had that situation?
But just in case I were like a grown-up like you.
Right, but you have never seen inside of a dirty microwave, and it can be a lot of work to get those clean. And they can get pretty nasty, so it's a lot easier if you keep up on it. So Emmett, your roommate always uses the microwave, but does not clean it after using it. It is always messy. What do you do? What do you say?
I would say, could you please clean it up?
Could you please clean it up? I like that. You asked nicely. You said please. What about you, Isla? What would you do? What would you say about your roommate using the microwave but not cleaning it afterwards?
Can you please clean it? I'm about to put a delicious thing in that I don't want to get it messy.
Right. You might get that food taste on there from whatever they cooked in there before.
Yeah. Like something, and then a sandwich.
Maybe something you don't like.
Marshmallows?
Like goulash or something.
What's goulash?
You haven't had that one yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to taste that.
All right. Next problem. Your roommate does not take out the garbage. You always take out the garbage. What would you do, Isla, and what would you say?
This is what I would do. I would ask them if you could take out the garbage for me, please. I always take out the garbage and never have any break.
Okay, that's a nice way. What about you, Emmett? What would you do? What would you say?
I would say, can you please take out the trash? I've always done it, please.
Not bad. I like that.
Yeah. Almost copied that. I love.
Just so you know, once you throw the one please in, you probably don't really need to throw the extra please in.
I don't want to copy Isla.
Ah, okay. All right. Whose turn? Emmett's. Your roommate always comes into your room without knocking. So imagine you're hanging out in your room, especially if you're sleeping or something, and that door just burst open. Roommate comes in, no knocking. Hey, Emmett, what's going on, bud? What would you do? What would you say?
I would say, could you please get out of here? I'm trying to chill with my cat, Katya.
You and your cat. All right, Isla, think about what you would do if your roommate always comes into your room without knocking.
I would say, can you please, just knock whenever you're coming in my room when I'm in there.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Maybe you're sleeping, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Katya.
Right, your cat. You love your cat.
She
So
always sleeps with him.
you two peas in a pod. So that's probably what I would do. Is just ask me, hey, can you knock nicely before coming in here, please? So, and maybe you could get yourself a locking doorknob, lock your door. I know you've hung signs on your door in the past, right?
Yeah, when I had my fort up.
You want to tell them what your sign said on the door the other day?
Workers only, or come in.
Workers only.
Or come in.
Or come in.
Yeah, and then I had another sign that said, come on in.
Okay.
Because sometimes we want people coming in.
I like that. Why did you put that sign up?
Because just in case we don't want anybody coming in.
Okay, so you want a little privacy in your fort.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I like that. All right. I think you guys did a pretty good job reading today. I think you did a very good job answering some of these questions. So some things to think about. And are you guys going to go around and make sure you're cleaning up after yourselves from now on?
Yeah.
A little better? About the bathrooms, your bedrooms?
Yes.
How's the basement look right now?
Messy.
It's a little messy, right?
Oh, no, I don't want to clean.
I know. You know what we'll do? We'll finish our video here, say goodbye, take a quick little break, and then we're going to get to work on cleaning up this basement.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Babe students. Bye.
Bye.